Mr. O.
I'm early for once.
You are so early. Thank you so much. We shut down the whole gym just for you.
Lord,
That's awesome.
Actually made it on time. Wow.
I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
We got a special day today. It's actually a special request.
It's a special day indeed. New Fit.
That's right. Garrett Salpeter, who owns New Fit, has requested to have Mr. O on the channel, so we had to listen.
Super excited.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna pretend that never happened. It's like
Big Andy, we got Mr. O on the channel today. Awesome. Very cool.
You do some arms?
yeah. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Andy brought some special stuff, right?
Well, I mean, just if you wanted to. So no, I got beat off our bands. If you want to do some at the end, some occlusion training for the arms, and then just basic. Got the pads, got the wraps just in case if the pads come off, and should be all set. You miss it?
I know. Let's not talk about that. Sean actually brought some short sleeves today. I love that.
Yeah.
Because usually we see nothing.
I was shooting content at my house. I actually went back and changed.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I was like,
You gotta show some skin, champ.
So, arms today. Anything specific you want to do? Or you want me to play them through?
I'm just gonna go with what you do.
Okay.
I'm not picky.
You're the operator, Andy. That's the third Olympia champion we have on the machine, if you count Jen.
Oh, you
Right?
gotta
She was
count
number
Jen.
one.
You gotta count Jen.
Number one, Jay, and then Sean.
Yeah.
3 out of 6 isn't bad, right? 3 out of 6 videos.
Yeah, that ain't
That's
bad
awesome.
At all. We'll hook up the stronger signal to the buys, then lighter signal to the tries for right now because we'll probably bounce back and forth, but I'll be switching the polarity to a stronger signal to tricep and when we hit tries, and then vice versa.
Nice.
So, maybe a little bit of slack just in case we want to wrap these for a quick finisher. And we'll run up. Oh, what's up, Mark?
Mark was hiding
A little
somewhere.
bit. What do you normally go up to like intensity level?
This is
For arms.
that's the machine as you're doing your set.
Yeah.
For me, I have to mentally feel like how much it is first,
Okay.
and then I'm like, okay,
Okay, cool.
I have to fight that.
Yeah.
I remember when you were doing legs with Brad, you were like, yeah, he was pausing at the beginning for like a good 20 seconds,
I'm like,
and then he would start,
trying
yeah.
to get this in first, but
Okay.
right now, probably 5. I'm like, holy shit, it hurts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just give me feedback. Like if it's too light and you're mid-set, tell me to crank it. So what I'm thinking about doing is let's just do. So I was actually I did a little bit of I was kind of watching some of your previous videos with Charles Glass as well. What I'm thinking about is let's just start with like a preacher curl.
Okay.
Okay. Warm them up. Then we'll do. I like to do just kind of old school straight bar curl, but not letting it drop to the bottom, keeping the tension on. So in front, and then we're gonna do like set of 10, and then superset with elbows back and drag curls. Okay. And then go from there, and then we'll do some. I'm thinking some cable. I like cable reverse curls, and what I'll actually do is since we're doing reverse curls, I'll move a pad off your tricep, put it right on your forearm, and we're going to be curling like this, and then cocking the wrist back to blow up that forearm, and then we'll move on to triceps, and then maybe one more bicep move.
More like that motion.
Yeah.
All right.
Sound good? I'm not sure that probably isn't that heavy. Just about 15 reps.
That's like the freaky part right there.
You doing that?
No.
No? You doing that?
Look at that one. Look at that one. Looks like worms.
It's dancing.
Welcome to the Matrix, folks.
It's funny, you always have one side that fires more than the other. Just, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know about you, I like to go shorter breaks just with arms, just because I just like to fill them up with blood. So I just like to hit my stopwatch and just go about 60 seconds in between sets for bicep, tricep.
Nice.
Cool. How's that? 1 out of 10. You're at 45. I am 47.
This is intriguing to me. So to be at 100, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I need to speak for. I don't understand why people think that you get to a certain age and your body doesn't work the way that it should. Like, everyone's like, hey, you're in the 40s, do you still grow? Do you? I'm like, no, I'm just fat. How do you grow? I'm 39 and I stopped growing. I'm like,
Sergio's growing like a weed.
I know.
Sweet.
How old is he now? He just
Victory
turned.
clothing, baby.
It's his birthday today, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how old.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like 32.
Is he?
No, I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I'm going to be growing until I tell myself I no longer need to be growing.
Now we're going to do, these are going to be working sets. I went up 2 plates.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to start, we've been lengthening this whole time. If you've seen in my previous videos, I always like to start out with a higher frequency to lengthen the muscle. And then once we start getting our deep working sets, then the muscle is primed to start contracting tissue. So now these next couple sets, we're going to start contracting the muscle.
What's the frequency right now?
Frequency is at 250. The last 2 sets I had you at 500.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to bring it down. This set, I'm going to bring it down to like 75.
Okay.
And then that following set, I'm going to bring it down to 40.
Okay.
What were you normally training at?
It's pretty much the same principle.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go all the way down. All the way, all the way, all the way. I'm up. 1. All the way down. Next tricep. Up, 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 up. All the way to the forehead. 2. Let's go 3 more. Up, 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 up. All the way to the forehead. 3. Let's shorten that bicep. Up, 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 up. 1 more. All the way. Drive. Good. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I want you to talk about this because Sean, you were asking Sean how many times he was actually using the machine.
Yeah, so how many on average a week?
So on average, I would probably like each week choose like 2 body parts that I would train. You know, so I said, okay, this week can we do arms and maybe legs, but they're spaced out.
Sure.
Because I feel as if my body, I know my body works different from most people, and I need to be able to feel as if, hey, listen, you know what, I'm challenging myself when I train, and I understand the purpose of the machine and what it does, but at the same time, it's not like anything else. We become dependent of whatever we're doing, because without the machine, I won't be able to get the same pump. I won't be able to have the same connection.
Even psychologically.
For me, I like to be able to think that mind-body connection is constantly there, whatever I'm doing, whatever exercise, because that's how I always train my body. Like, if I'm training legs, I got to be able to have that connection. Like, I'm hitting, you know, whether it's my outer sweep, you know, or my teardrops or whatever, from just that connection. So that's the reason why I don't train in a tank top. I can't look at what I'm doing.
You want to think about
I got
it.
to be able to feel the, feel the connection here whenever I train.
That makes sense.
Where most people are like, hey, I would walk around in a tank top and booty shorts, and I'm like, for what purpose? Because so I could see what I'm doing. I'm like, even if I'm looking in the mirror, I can't see that because everything for me is by feel. You know, so where most guys, you might see a guy going, hey, I'm benching 500 pounds. I could bench 500 pounds, but I'm not working that muscle if I'm just throwing the weight up.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, hey, take a plate off. And if I don't feel it, I'm going to take another plate off.
Yeah.
Most people might go, how can you get big from lifting that?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm able to feel the contraction now a lot better than me just throwing the weight up off me.
And longevity as well.
Exactly.
I'm glad he's talking about that because, you know, bodybuilding is not just about heavy weights all the time. Of course, it has to be a part of it, but it's not the only thing. So,
yeah, I mean, backing up what he said, I think you should find a weight that you can feel and then progress off there.
Yeah.
So maybe, but like, so say you feel like 225, there's no need, like if you have a great set of 12 to 225, there's no need to jump up to 315, maybe go 245 and add a 10 on each side. And that's still progression and over time, so then you really feel the 245 over time, then you, like I'm a big advocate of 2.5 plates. People see me, they're like, 2.5 plates. I'm like, well, it's a small progression from last week, and then these 2.5 plates over 8 weeks a period add up to like 30, 40 pounds. And now we're talking 30, 40 pounds of what you can feel in a safe manner of progression, and then times that by X amount of years you're training, you know, you can get up to some serious weight that you can feel.
Most people don't think like that, though. It's
Well, because I think Instagram is like, that's why I'm posting a lot of workout, because, man, I mean, you see like Larry Wheels or some of these strong dudes, you're like, damn, my 315 ain't shit. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it a lot, even on legs, where they're like, but you were only squatting 2 plates, or you're only squatting 3 plates. And I'm like,
until you drop your pants.
I'm like, what's your point?
Yeah.
They're like, you know, you're supposed to be squatting a lot more. The guy over there that's half your size.
Hey, does he see how much you're like pressing though?
And I'm like, hey, that's good for him, man.
Talk to me in 10 years. I'm going to crank it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, all the way up. Yep. Up. 4, right to the forehead. There we go. Stretch. Up. 5. Let's go 8. 6. Up. All the way, all the way, all the way. 7. Yep. Drive. Pinky, 8. Great. I'm going to drop it. Hang tight. Okay, go ahead. 1. Up. 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. Yep, there we go. 3 or 4. Up. 5. 6. Let's go 2 more. 7. 1 more. Drive. Slow. 5 seconds down. 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold it right there. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Awesome.
Okay, cool. I want to talk about, you know, so you obviously help a lot of people with the Neubie now. You're kind of like the guy in Vegas for that, Andy. What would you say the average amount of time people actually want to hire you on it? So I did under doing all body parts on it. Are they?
No, I recommend it like so full out intensity. Now, when I say full out intensity, like how Shawn was talking about the frequency at 40, really going high.
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Okay.
And I notice more women like 2 to 3 times a week than men, because Shawn's huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So his tissue is going to take longer to recover than a woman 130 pounds.
Right.
So, you know, you kind of take it back like to the Dorian era, when Dorian would only train 4 times a week. Well, I doubt he trained 4 times a week when he was $180. He trained 4 times a week when he was 270, 300 in the off season, because he needed more recover, because you break down, the more tissue you break down, the more time you need to recover. So, you know, someone like him, like twice a week is probably enough.
Okay.
He's got so much muscle.
So that's interesting, because people probably see you guys train on this and like, okay, like Shawn was saying, you know, Brad is notorious to train on the machine every single workout, Brad Rowe, you know, but it's not the norm. You wouldn't say.
Just, you know, and, you know, Brad built himself up to that as well. So, I mean, Brad's kind of, you know, everybody's different.
Right.
You know, like Brad gets up at 2 a.m. He's a maniac.
He's a freak, yeah.
He's a freak. You know what I mean? So kudos to him. I mean, me, I'm like, after like 3, 4, I mean, I've done it every day, but then I've also done like just, I train, 2-3 times on it, but then if I want to just put it on my calves, like I don't count that,
Yeah, right.
Do like some smaller muscle group, but like something big.
Okay.
Yeah, like something big for a bigger guy, 2-3 times a week
Okay.
is plenty.
I'm glad we talked about that. Just what people probably wondering. 50
I
pounds.
got a video of me doing 30.
I was going to say 40, but I didn't want the word to get out of hand.
So,
I was only doing the 40 pounds.
all right, so I want right here. So, yeah, elbows right here, and then you're coming up right to the chin, right there. Yep, and then coming down slow, 3 seconds down, right there. Yep, keeping all the tension. Go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go 2 more. 11, and 12. Okay, elbows back. Drag close. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Woo! That's okay on that? Intensity? Yeah.
He's getting bigger by the
Got
set.
him up in the 70s, so I wasn't sure. I didn't want to cramp up. Do you need anything? Water? Finish your
What
training.
is that for, Andy?
It's occlusion training, so BFR, blood flow restriction bands. Just something I like to call it. Only 2 things, really only 2 body parts I really like to use it on, just to mix it up, arms and legs. So I like to put them around upper part of the quad for like extensions. And then just right at the upper part where the shoulder attaches to the bicep of the arms, and it prevents blood from flowing anywhere else, so it stays stuck in the arm. I only like to do it, after I'm gonna make him tight on it around his arm, and then right after a set I'm gonna loosen him up to let the blood flow. But it's like the pump's crazy, so we're just gonna use 30 pounds on the straight bar because it's just you want to go lighter. It's more just pumping, just getting as much blood as possible.
Guys, don't let that fool you. Those are the 130s.
We scratched the one.
We scratched the one off because for safety measures.
Here we go.
So this is the trick from the Ultimate Warrior back in the day.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? Sean remembers. Andy's kind of young to remember the Ultimate Warrior,
Oh,
but
man, I know all about it. Come on, man. Ed Connors would talk all about him.
Elk Hogan discovered him at Gold's. That's where he saw him train at Gold's Venice, and he got him involved.
The Legions of Doom had him also.
Yeah,
The Legions of Doom.
that's right.
What's those brothers? There's a tag team brothers that had them too, but Ultimate Warrior made them famous with the little frails on it.
Yeah.
Maybe on this one. Just that one. Make sure this is okay, we're good.
You should be tighter.
Oh, this one. Okay, this one tight. Okay. All right.
Sweet.
No,
Yeah. That's right. Hell yeah.
what the hell is going on here? All right. All the way up. Boom. 2, 3. Flex the tricep at the bottom. Stretch it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's pump them out fast. 12, up. 13, up. 14, 15, 16, 2 more. 17, 18, okay, pull it back, drag curls, just fast. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's go 15, 13, 14, and 15. Loosen up.
Nice.
Just a little,
Let it breathe a little bit.
extra, you know,
Yeah, let it
little
breathe.
extra things is good.
Nice.
Make it a little more
Big
fun.
pump, pump.
Yeah.
Sir.
Good. Let me pump. Is ground all right for you? Right here. You want to go this way or this way?
Either way's good.
Let me drop this one. I'm going to move that pad from your tricep. We'll just step back a bit further. Right here, I just let it come up. It's like a Dante Trudel. Just come up and flick the wrist. So I'm going to put a pad right here. Okay. I won't be able to go too high on this one, so if your wrist starts cramping because it's on the forearm, let me know. That good? Good? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, let's get 20, 15, 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, after that's done, I'll just remove them. They're sticking fine. All right. Back up. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up, up, up. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One more. Up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go one more real quick, and then we'll hit tries. side for me. Okay, so we have pads on both heads of the tricep, inner and outer. Depending on the exercise, we're going to switch, sending stronger signals to whichever head of the tricep we're trying to hit. So right now, more the outer head. Okay, so
drop it to like 70.
70. Okay. Tell me when I'm going to go up. Okay. One more set. I just want to move the pad right here. I just want to hit every single fiber of the arms. I don't always do that. I mean, when you have smaller arms, the pad take up.
I was going to say the pad looks really small on his arm.
When you have an arm the size of someone's pad, the size of a pumpkin, you got to kind of move them around.
That's funny.
Stretch, come up, 10, flex. Stretch, pause, 11. Deep stretch, pause, 12. There we go. Deep, deep, deep. Pause, 13. Deep, 14. Let's go one more. All the way. Up. 5. 5 seconds down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and depending on your flexibility, we could drop the seat one more to get like an inch stretch more.
It's not my flexibility, it's my fear of this.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's in my head.
Sure.
It's like
Is that when you get
tendon, so
Oh, right.
even when I'm benching, it's like
Feel it?
I could be having a great workout, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
think
Like,
about it.
That's why I can't look at myself in the mirror.
Sure.
I have to go by everything by
Yeah.
feel, like whatever.
Have you ever put pads on it, like the new pads?
Actually, I did. couple weeks ago when I went down to see Garrett. He was like, hey, you know what, let's try this therapy. Hooked it up and in the water.
Yeah.
And probably within 5 minutes, I was like, what the? It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit. It was amazing.
What's cool about this machine, it's the cords are waterproof, so I have different attachments. You don't put the actual pads that adheres to that stick to the skin. They have rubber circular pads that almost look like miniature, like, I don't know, flippers, but they're like, you put them in the water. You could do, if you see my Instagram, you could do foot baths to break up ankle adhesions in the ankle, adhesions in the wrist, leading up, and then you put, so say you put a positive signal in the water to send a stronger signal in the water, but then you put a negative signal with the pad to wherever the given injury is, so maybe on his forearm, and then you start doing rotation, it connects the two, and it helps the wrist and leads up to wherever that second pad is on that given injury. So whether it be forearm, bicep, tibia, wherever you do that. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty versatile.
Literally just doing this in the water, and probably for 5 minutes we're just there talking, and because I can't close his finger. And I'm sitting there just talking to him while my hand was in the water, and without even realizing, I was like, he goes, oh, that feeling. I was like, oh, shit.
That's awesome.
Just like that.
Have you ever, did they ever reset you? Mm-hmm. How'd you like that?
Reset was, I was like almost asleep.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So that's another thing with the resets. A lot of, I like doing the resets, especially if somebody is, so say somebody trains 3 times a week, mandatory I give them a reset because that drops the cortisol level and enhances recovery. So it takes your nervous system from a sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic. So it helps REM sleep. Like he said, he was falling asleep.
He was talking to me, like talking, and I could fall asleep. But it was like just one of those where it was just like, okay, I'm awake.
Yeah.
It was really good.
So, I mean, better sleep, less stress, quicker recovery.
Better recovery.
Very simple. Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Good with that weight, or you want to go up?
I'm going to go 130.
130? All right. All right, say the word, Shawn. I'm going, pulling it up.
Okay.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There, up. Up, 2, 3 more. Up, 3, 2 more. Up, 4, 1 more. Up, squeeze all the way up, 5 seconds down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. One thing with the bands, you got to make sure you got some slack in the wires. That's all. You don't want the bands to. So make this tight, so I don't want to tight on the wires and then have it pop. That was too big. I don't remember it being this difficult before.
I know. I was gonna say.
Good.
Shawn, are you growing? Or is the Neubie making you grow?
Put on like 20 pounds since I walked in.
I asked Mark to jump on the Neubie all the time.
He doesn't want to do it?
Not that I don't want, I'm just lazy.
Yeah, okay. There, I was waiting for him to admit it.
lazy.
Okay, thank you.
You should, man.
I will.
Like, seriously.
I got that on camera too.
Listen, Andy's
And he was giving me shit. He's like, oh, Jen is training on the Neubie all the time. I'm like, dude, I invite both of you to come
I
train.
know, he's busy. I don't want to bother him.
He is busy.
Yeah.
He is busy.
That's your excuse that you're sticking with it. That's my story.
I don't know, fucking Rhoden looks pretty pumped right now.
I know.
What the hell is that shit?
It's the Ultimate Warrior.
That's Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go. You got it? Yeah. Text me.
All right.
Later, Mark.
Huh?
He's gonna eat. He's gonna be hungry after this one. He's starving after this. Oh, starving. He's gonna burn through that cream of rice. 2, 3. 12, 14, 15, 16, 7, 8, 9, one more. 10. Loosen you up and I'll put no weight on.
Are you cranking it?
Now we're at 12. It stopped. It doesn't want to go to 11. I'm trying to make it. There we go. It's at like partially 11, so it went up like a quarter inch. Cool. All right, Sean, last set. I'll peel it, okay? We'll do a drop set. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. 9, 10, 2 more. 11 and 12. Peeling. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. 7, 8. Peeling it. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Peeling one more time. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just rep it out. There we go. Boom.
Damn.
Let's get these on. Get these off.
Smoke. Smoke coming out.
Tell me if any of that hurts you. I'll help you out. Just put your elbows in a little bit. Fold the back. Is that too light? Let's do it. We're gonna go 20 more seconds. 30 seconds.
So this is on the different signal, Andy, right now?
10 more seconds. 1, 2. Yeah, so I mean, I like to finish all workouts with like a deep stretch under load. That way we can just keep, maintain flexibility and full range. Yeah, and yeah, it's on a different signal. We're lengthening fibers. So now this isn't not only, like I said in probably the first video, that's the coolest thing about the machine is you can lengthen tissue as well as contract tissue. So it's not, you can like after you train chest, you don't have to walk out of the gym like this, all bundled up. You can open back up, get on a cable fly or anything, just lengthen, put the pads on, and just lengthen your chest, lengthen triceps, lengthen biceps,
So do you go back to 500 or?
I go back to 500, yeah. So were you out training with, were you in Austin or were you in LA with Garrett? Austin, how cool.
Big Andy.
Please don't call me Big Andy. Sit next to this.
No, that's okay, man. Big Andy. Listen, another Mr. Olympia on the electric body. I'm really glad. This was actually, like I mentioned it before, a little bit of a special request from our guy Garrett, who owns, a Neubie and New Fit and all that stuff, and he really wanted to have Shawn on the show. So I appreciate you leaving Fit Club, which is your home gym, to come to the Dragons Lair to film today.
I appreciate the hospitality. This
Yeah,
was great.
he was very specific. He says, I would like to have Shawn Rhoden on the show, and I would like to have it at the Dragons Lair. So here we are. We made it happen, Garrett. So Shawn, I wanted to talk a little bit. You actually went to Texas to see Garrett. You spent a few days with him over there. Talk about that real quick, because you actually also not only use a Neubie, but you own a Neubie.
Yes.
And so you actually worked, with Brad. At first, he kind of taught you the ropes a little bit, and then you actually went to Texas to work with Garrett. So tell me a little bit about your experience and how was it over there?
Going back from working with Brad, when I started, I thought it was, what kind of mad science is this? But over the years, just understanding how the machine works and how much it was going to benefit me in the long run. Just stuck with it and see great results. So I have an opportunity to go down and see Garrett and learn a little bit more, from his staff. It was amazing, man. Like, I've never actually done like a reset or anything like that on my own. So it was a great experience, just from searching for certain areas that might have been need a little bit more attention, and how to address it, from wear and tear and so forth, and old age and aches and pain, and how to be able to work those areas, as well as something as simple as working with your blood pressure, and it was
wow.
The machine could do so much things that you don't really grasp the understanding of what it's able to do. And for me to be with the staff and to be able to go through all that stuff, it's something that I'm going to recommend to everyone.
Andy, is that something that interests you also as well? The fact that we use it for bodybuilding because that's what we love. We love bodybuilding, but it's like he's saying, there's so many more therapeutic use for the machine and stuff. I don't think people have a general idea of what it can do. Right.
That's why I originally bought the machine.
Yeah.
Like I've said it probably 100 times. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but 3 knee surgeries, elbow surgery, shoulder surgery, rehabbed them on my own.
At a young age. You're young.
At a young age, yeah, just doing dumb stuff. So I got the Neubie for therapeutic use at first, then started having like Dom Cardone over, training my buddies, stuff like that, using it on myself, and then obviously the person who introduced me to it was Brad Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
So it just worked. It worked great for, like he said, overall nervous system, cortisol levels, hypertrophy, as well as injury prevention and injury rehabilitation.
Wow. Are you still finding ways to learn about that? How do you keep up with all the new stuff? Do you keep going back? Is that like a continuous?
Yeah, continuous education. There's so many. There's 1 through 500 hertz of different frequencies, and every hertz, whether it be 3, 95, 500, has different uses for different ailments.
Okay.
So I talked with Clay, and Clay's one of the main like sales reps through New Fit, and Garrett, and there's just so much more to learn, and you're just constantly learning. You're constantly learning and educating yourself from other people, and then you're also learning on your own from trial and error, like, oh wow, this frequency feels different.
Practice.
Oh wow, this frequency felt interesting on the muscle. I got a different type of soreness or fullness, or this really helped my nerve pain coming from my left arm if I put a negative frequency, a negative pad here and then a positive pad here, and then ran 2 channels from like a 395 frequency to a 500 frequency simultaneously. Like, there's just so many different things you can do in so many different areas, like, and that there's different frequencies because you have multiple channels in the machine, so different frequencies complement each other. So it's like
infinite.
I really think like with direct current, I think there's infinite possibilities.
Do you feel that it helps you as an operator to actually train people on it? That way it's not just you, but you get to actually work on subject, so you can learn more from the machine. I'm sure it does, right?
Yes, yeah, and because everybody responds differently.
Yeah.
Like Shawn could handle a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
You know,
Yeah.
and some people, you know, some people are like in the 20s, like of intensity, and they're tapped out. So you got to really, you know, especially like working with somebody brand new,
Yeah.
you really have to just like start from scratch and
Yeah.
just kind of give like an introductory session.
How do you compare, Shawn, working on the machine with someone like Andy or Brad versus doing it yourself? Is it a different experience, or?
I think when I'm doing it myself, I'm a little bit more tentative because I go from 0 to sanity in 1 second.
Okay.
So I sit there and turn the machine up when I'm by myself.
So a little bit more of a kamikaze.
And I realize that, hey, listen, like, when somebody else is doing it, it's a lot easier because I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the number is.
Right.
You know, for me, again, everything is by feel. So,
Yes.
you know, if the operator is just kind of like, okay, say when.
I would think it's easier,
You
yeah.
know, it's so much easier than me sitting here and I'm like, let's just crank it.
Yeah,
know,
you do the
and-
same thing too. You train out and you're the operator, so how do you gauge that?
Yeah, I'll either have myself or I'll have Kelly operate.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
yeah, it's much easier when someone else operates it. Because one, I'm like Shawn. Like if I'm I'm training by myself, I maybe have like 90 minutes to train, so I'll just crank it. It's not ideal for the nervous system to go like you say 0 to 70 right away. Your central nervous system is like, oh, okay, you know. So it's good to ease into it, and it's ideally you want to just like start low, and as you're repping it out, progressively increase the intensity as it goes. Almost like each rep gets harder. Each contraction gets harder with the current as well. So yeah, I agree with Shawn.
Okay. Well, Shawn, I really appreciate you coming today, man. I wanted to, we wanted to have you on. Obviously, you're who you are and stuff, but I think it's really kind of cool that not only you've been someone who used the machine, you know, with Brad all these years, but you actually acquired one yourself. So obviously, it's something that you really thought would be beneficial, because they're not cheap, those machines, right? So, do you ever train anybody on it, or is it just you and Stan most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time it's just me and Stan.
Okay.
It's
So it's got like no hours on it.
yeah.
Yours, that's
It's,
awesome.
At the end of the day, it's for what we do. It's trying to help us get to the next level.
Yeah.
And there are people that want to try it, and then you know you try to educate them like this is what it does, and they kind of look at you like what? They don't get it, and then when they try it, it's almost as if it freaks you out the first time because you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of people don't like it the first time.
you feel as if you get electrocuted, and we understand the benefit of it, so it's like, okay, you know what? This might be uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
I know what it's doing.
Yeah.
You know, so
How do you feel, guys, about, how we've been talking about this machine for now, I would say a good 2 years, solid 2 years now with Brad and everything. And it's something that, you know, I was at Goals when Brad started with this, and everybody kind of was like making fun of him with, you know, carrying his little cart like a nurse or something like that. But now that the bodybuilding world kind of like got accustomed to it, so many pros and so many people have actually gotten the machine. The word got out. A ton of people I'm hearing from New York, Dubai. Shawn, you sent some machine in Dubai. I mean, everybody's kind of like onto it now. It's not really a secret anymore. It's kind of cool,
It's cool.
right?
Very cool.
I mean, obviously that technology has been adopted by bodybuilding, and people don't make so much fun of it anymore now.
I think that's the sport evolving. People could see that, you don't have to train like you normally do. I don't care what people say, the old days, whatever. But for longevity, you got to be smarter about the way how you train. And if you are able to have the assistance of a machine like the Neubie, why not take advantage of it?
That's right.
Instead of, not everybody's going to lift like Ronnie and Durian. Not everybody's going to come in and go, hey, I'm going to deadlift 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
But you have this machine that can help you feel as if, hey, you just deadlift 1,000 pounds. And you're able to activate the muscle fibers that you're not accustomed to.
Yeah.
I mean, take advantage of it, So that's how I look at it. The sport is evolving. And
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see a kid who's just getting into the sport in their early 20s and get on the Neubie ASAP. And I know they're not going to think about it because everything works great when you're early 20s. You don't care. You just want to lift heavy weights and train like pedal to the metal. But it'd be interesting to see, because I'm feeling like the people that are taking advantage of Neubie the most are people in their mid to late 30s and then so on. Because of the injuries and because of wear and tear and all that stuff. But wouldn't that be interesting to see someone new into the game, with talent, they getting on that? That'd be interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because, you know, there's nothing you can't do when you're 20,
Yeah.
you know? I'd love to see that.
I put a couple, like, what you call newbie lifters, like in their like late 19, 20 on the machine, and I definitely think it improved. Because at that age, you really don't have muscle-mind connection. You don't get it. You don't get it.
That's
you
a good
lift,
point.
I remember, you know, when I was 19, I think I deadlifted 5 plates, which is what I probably deadlift now. You know, like, and I was like really light, but I didn't feel my back. I just pulled it off the ground. I didn't know what to feel. You know, so I think that would be a good way of. I still think, you know, train without it, stick with the basics, but you know, for certain muscles, especially at a, you know, a young age, to get that muscle-mind connection.
That's a very good point.
At a quicker time.
That's a very good point, because that's
it
something.
Takes years.
That's right.
You know what I would love to see actually? Someone actually posing and using the newbie, like a bodybuilder. Because I know.
You know who I've seen doing that? Hassan. Dominic Cardone, before the Cal last year, not this year, but came to his hotel room and put him on newbie and just zapped him to get a pump. It was incredible.
Because I know, like, a couple of times, like, Stan is posing and he goes, I can't feel my back. I wonder how would it be like to be like, can you feel your back now?
Yes.
So I posed with the pads because I have really bad. My shoulders are locked.
Okay.
So I need mobility work all the time. So I was sending, because Dom I work with, and I sent him check-in photos of my rear lat spread, and I had 2 pads near my like supraspinatus and like rhomboids, and it did. I felt it, but it really opened me up because I use that. I have a frequency, a lengthening frequency, and I was able to pose better.
See, those are all, we don't. I mean, like
I didn't pose like constantly with it. I didn't put it on also other muscles, but just like the back.
That's
because
interesting.
I couldn't open up.
Yep.
On the back side.
That's interesting.
I mean, you get to a point, like especially in peak week, when you try to get that little extra. Hey, listen, is my lat flaring? Like, you know, am I actually squeezing my chest? Like, is my my lats opening up wide enough? And
all those little details.
You know, to have just that little bit, like, okay, how does it feel now? And have you memorize, okay, this is how I'm supposed to feel in this position, because the machine is helping to lengthen the muscle. And then you can remember that feeling when you're on stage, like, this is the position that you need to be in. Smart.
He told me this once when you were helping me with my posing. He said, you see how you look on that? How does that feel? Remember that feeling.
You gotta remember that feeling all the time. So
I love it.
Something to think about for 2022 Mr. Olympia. Yeah,
there you go. All right, I hope we get you back on the machine, Shawn, with Andy. See how much bigger you can get. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate it. This is episode 5 of Electric Body. Andy, we'll see you next week.